Have you ever regretted inviting a friend to your home? Or have you experienced unexpected discomfort visiting a friend's place? Did you know that inviting friends over without proper preparation or consideration, just because you're close, can actually damage relationships and create unnecessary discomfort for both parties? This is because home is the most private and intimate space, a sanctuary that guarantees absolute comfort for an individual. The great German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer described human relationships with unique insight through the Porcupine Dilemma. This refers to how, in cold winter, porcupines try to huddle together to share warmth, but when they get too close, their sharp quills hurt each other. Yet staying too far apart means freezing in the bitter cold. Human relationships are essentially no different. As we grow closer, we learn about each other's thoughts, behaviors, and even habits, getting hurt or disappointed in unexpected ways. Conversely, keeping too much distance leads to loneliness and feelings of isolation. Particularly, the highly private space called home intensifies and amplifies this porcupine dilemma. Home should be a personal domain that others outside family cannot easily invade, a space for complete rest and recharging. But a friend's visit can cause it to lose or distort this meaning. So why should we carefully consider inviting even close friends to our homes? And in these situations, how can we find wise solutions to maintain precious friendships while protecting ourselves and our personal space? In today's video, we'll deeply analyze how inviting close friends home affects relationships and the various problems that can arise. Seeking wisdom for appropriate human relationships. I hope today's topic resonates deeply with your concerns and helps you find wise answers. If you're interested in this topic, please subscribe and like. I'll repay you with insightful content that truly benefits your life. The first reason is that inviting friends home requires much more preparation and unexpected effort than you might think. Many people tend to think of inviting friends over as just a light, enjoyable gathering, but in reality, inviting friends home is almost like planning and executing a small-scale event, requiring considerable preparation and energy. Guest-ready cleaning, very different from daily housework, awaits us first. We worry about dust in corners we usually ignore and stains in invisible places, catching guests' eyes. The cleanliness of the living room, bathroom, and kitchen that guests will mainly use requires extra special attention. Wanting to perfectly remove every water stain in the bathroom or grease in the kitchen, we spend much more time and physical labor on cleaning than usual. This goes beyond simple cleaning. It's an effort directly connected to the host's desire to make a good impression. Next, an aspect we can't overlook is selecting who to invite and coordinating schedules among all friends. Being close friends doesn't mean everyone can comfortably get along in every situation. For example, when inviting high school friends, college friends, or work colleagues from different backgrounds together, an awkward and subtle atmosphere can form within different relationship networks. Also, finding the optimal date and time when multiple friends can all attend isn't as easy as it seems. Considering busy modern schedules and finding a time everyone's satisfied with requires multiple rounds of coordination and negotiation, consuming considerable time and energy. Food preparation also occupies a large part of hosting and adds to the host's burden. You need to understand each invited friend's individual preferences and tastes. Select a menu everyone will enjoy and prepare appropriate quantities. If cooking feels burdensome, you can use delivery services. But even this typically requires more attention than usual due to the special nature of hosting guests. You also need the thoughtfulness to prepare extra snacks and drinks For any contingency, if a friend stays overnight, additional preparation occurs for bedding and basic toiletries. All these processes create considerable psychological and physical burden for the host. It's not simply opening your home to spend enjoyable time with friends, but the pressure and responsibility that unknowingly arise from needing to provide the best environment and service for guests. Each of these preparation steps can accumulate into stress, eventually leading to thoughts like, I don't want to invite friends over next time. Consequently, even with friends you've been close with for a long time, inviting them home consumes far more effort and energy than expected, and this excessive preparation process can burden the host and negatively impact precious relationships. This goes beyond mere physical fatigue, potentially creating a psychological barrier that makes you hesitate about future invitations. Second, there's the essential invasion of the private space called home. Home is the ultimate space where individuals feel most safe, private, and completely comfortable. Here we can shed our social masks and exist purely as ourselves, acting freely without being conscious of anyone's gaze. But the moment you invite friends home, this solid boundary of private space collapses, and invasion becomes likely. Schopenhauer left a profound insight. We must live under others' gazes, but those gazes don't take responsibility for our lives. From the very moment a friend enters your home, all your personal spaces and private elements are exposed, defenseless to your friend's sharp gaze. Friends freely look around your home, evaluating or expressing opinions about interior style, displayed items, even furniture brands and prices. Furthermore, some friends photograph certain spaces or items without the host's consent and share them on personal social media. Of course, these actions may not always come from malicious intent, but from the host's perspective, having your private and intimate space exposed to others unfiltered and becoming subject to evaluation can cause considerable discomfort and displeasure. For example, if a friend carelessly says, "Why are you still collecting this?" or "Isn't that a childish hobby?" about hobby items or collectibles you've carefully gathered over time, it can hurt the host's pride or feelings. No matter how close friends are, respecting each other's tastes and personal space is basic courtesy, but we must face the reality that not all friends act with such consideration. Moreover, friends' visits can lead to unique expectations and burdens the host has about their home. You might worry unnecessarily. Will they think my home is messy? Will they judge my interior taste? Will their impression of my home be negative? You might even feel subtle discomfort and burden, thinking friends might estimate your home's value or income level. This psychological pressure about private space exposure and evaluation hinders the comfort and ease hosts should naturally feel at home, ultimately having subtle but negative effects on friendships. Home should be where we escape external gazes to rest and recharge most completely. But if a friend's visit causes unnecessary tension or discomfort, can we truly say the invitation was a genuinely good experience for both parties? These complex factors working together mean the private space called home can lose its original meaning through friends' visits, becoming a source of relationship fatigue. Third, inviting friends home can cause various unexpected problems that create cracks in precious relationships. Inviting friends home carries meaning beyond simply spending enjoyable time, and sometimes unplanned, sudden situations occur, causing subtle tension or serious cracks in relationships. From the host's perspective, one of the most realistic and major concerns is the cleanup problem. After gatherings, after eating delicious food together, sharing pleasant conversation, and spending happy time, you face an enormous amount of dishes to wash and a messy house, like a storm has passed. Of course, it's great if considerate friends voluntarily offer to help clean up, but if not, situations arise where the host must handle everything alone. At such times, regrets like, I shouldn't have invited them, or I should have met outside instead, wash over you, and this small dissatisfaction accumulates, becoming a reason to hesitate about future invitations. More serious situations occur if friends accidentally break household items or behave inappropriately against the host's wishes. For example, when they break a cherished expensive vase or spill drinks on expensive furniture, saying, "It's okay, don't worry," as close friends, is very difficult, yet explicitly demanding compensation is also awkward, creating a dilemma. These unexpected problems burden both parties, psychologically and emotionally, and if not handled well, small misunderstandings can grow into major conflicts or cause relationships to drift apart. From the friend's perspective, various disadvantages and discomforts also exist. Invited guests may feel pressure that unknowingly arises from needing to maintain basic courtesy and manners toward the host's home. They must be mindful of many things, keeping exact appointment times, bringing small gifts on first visits, not touching household items without permission, especially when leaving. After staying later than expected, they might feel uncomfortable guilt and worry. Did I impose too long? Was the host uncomfortable? Also, if the host is too formal or expects a full house tour, introducing every corner, visitors might feel burdened and awkward. When staying overnight, there's the inconvenience of bringing personal hygiene items like toothbrushes, underwear, and change of clothes, plus minor discomforts from sleeping arrangements and bathroom use that accumulate, sometimes becoming reasons to hesitate about future visits. Thus, inviting close friends home may seem simple outwardly, but is actually full of unexpected variables and potential problems. No matter how long you've been intimately close in the special space called home, there are many aspects requiring mutual caution and consideration. And when these problems arise, if not resolved wisely, even solid relationships can easily drift apart because the values of private space and personal comfort are too important to understand and overlook everything in the name of closeness. In conclusion, even with very close friends, casually inviting them home is something requiring careful consideration. In many respects, excessive expectations about relationships easily lead to unnecessary disappointment and hurt. There's risk of invading the most precious private space, and most importantly, unexpected problems, large and small, can occur, potentially causing damage beyond minor cracks to long-built relationships. So how can we wisely overcome these potential disadvantages while maintaining precious friendships and simultaneously protecting ourselves and our personal space? First, we must deeply respect the essential meaning of the space called home and the personal values it contains. Lowering both parties' expectations about invitations to realistic levels, we must fully understand that home is more than just living space. It's the most private and precious space, containing an individual's identity and intimate life. Hosts should let go of excessive burden to show perfect excellence to friends, while invited friends should maintain mature attitudes, respecting the host's private space and all elements within it. Schopenhauer left a profound insight. Don't blindly believe people's words, believe their actual actions. This applies equally to relationships, rather than unconditional trust or blind faith hidden behind the name of closeness. Confirming true respect and consideration through each other's actions and attitudes is far more important for sustaining healthy relationships. Second, we need courage to set clear, realistic boundaries and communicate them honestly. Being in an intimate relationship doesn't mean you must allow and accommodate everything. Rather, healthy relationships can develop more solidly on clear boundaries. It's very important to communicate honestly and constructively about each other's expectations and basic courtesies to maintain before inviting or being invited. For example, hosts can make specific requests to friends. I'd like you to relax at my place. If we eat together, I'd appreciate help with cleanup. Conversely, visiting friends can ask while considering the host's position first. I'm worried I might stay too long and make you uncomfortable. What time would be good for me to leave? Like Schopenhauer's sharp warning, trying to be a good person often results in becoming a pushover. We shouldn't fear setting our boundaries and expressing them externally. Drawing clear lines isn't cowardice or selfishness, but rather an essential element for maintaining healthy, sustainable relationships. Such communication and boundary setting effectively reduces misunderstandings and prevents unnecessary conflicts. Third, instead of inviting to your home, we need wisdom to actively seek alternative meeting methods in safer, more neutral spaces without necessarily inviting friends to your most private space home. There are infinite ways to spend enjoyable, meaningful time together. You can deepen friendship through various outdoor activities, sharing delicious meals, leisurely conversing at nice cafes, watching interesting movies, or walking together in nature. If inviting home feels burdensome or hesitant for various reasons, it's good to honestly and tactfully explain why and suggest alternative meetings. For example, you could say sincerely, due to personal circumstances, it's a bit difficult to have people over now, but I'd love to treat you to a nice meal instead. Such honest and considerate communication can deepen mutual understanding and trust rather than damaging friendship. Schopenhauer left a famous saying, arguing with rude people is like wrestling with a pig in mud. The pig enjoys it, but you just get dirty. Similarly, in human relationships, rather than emotionally exhausting yourself with unnecessary problems or damaging relationships, wisely avoiding conflict situations and finding mutually beneficial alternatives is the wiser way to protect truly precious relationships. In conclusion, even with friends you've been intimate with for a long time, inviting them home always requires careful approach. We often expect more than we have from others just because we're close, or conversely, mistakenly think we must sacrifice unconditionally. But such blind expectations and sacrifices can ultimately act as unexpected poison to relationships. Like Schopenhauer's profound insight, rather than being overly bound by others' gazes or evaluations, it's very important to respect ourselves and our personal space. Above all, maintaining appropriate distance in healthy relationships. True friendship should never reach levels invading your comfort and privacy, but must be based on balanced respect and consideration for both parties. When we wisely maintain appropriate psychological and physical distance with sincere consideration and respect for each other, friendships can continue solidly and longer without being shaken by external factors. I sincerely hope the content and insights presented in today's video help you make wise decisions in your relationships and prevent unnecessary conflicts and hurts.